Appalachian wild men, the shocking truth exposed. Late to the game, but native Appalachian person here. My family has lived in the mountains for as far back as we can trace. 100% I can tell you that mountain men aren't thought of as myth or anything like that here. They are thought of as fact, but the story we hear is more grounded in reality than what I've read online. My grandmother let us play in the forests and the streets, etc., my entire childhood with little to no supervision. We swam in lakes and streams until dark and ran and biked all over this area. But we were not allowed to approach the Appalachian Trail. The single time. I remember her going anywhere near the actual Appalachian Trail. She was all over us. She made everyone hold hands. We even went to the bathroom as a group. Everyone had to sit around and wait for everyone else to be done before we walked out. She was the first of her family to live off a reservation, and she was adamant that the mountain men were absolutely in the area and would absolutely carry off kids or attack lone adults, and had done it for as long as her family could remember. Apparently, that's what everyone knew happened to her great-uncle, and they knew it was pointless to go to any form of police about it. Just FYI for what it's worth. Mike Heron is my mother's first cousin. Mike's father and my mom's father are brothers. Our entire family, beginning 4 generations, settled in Happy Valley. It's very close to a large lake named Chilhowie Lake. I, along with most of our extended family, live in Maryville now, just because it's closer to the grocery store, jobs, bank, etc. The condo Mike lived in was only a couple miles from my house. His sons, my second cousins, spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to find him. They were very close to their dad and were devastated when he disappeared. One thing I do know, Happy Valley people know each other because not that many people live there, and the ones that do were born there. My point is, if a stranger had come into the valley, someone would have seen them. Our family searched every inch of the area Mike disappeared from, and there was absolutely no trace of him anywhere and hasn't been since. If Grady Whitehead couldn't find him, he wasn't going to be found. Our family still holds out hope that one day we'll find out what happened to Mike. Mike was my dad's best friend. We still go on a hike for Mike every year by Abrams Creek in remembrance. I live in Walland, about 20 minutes from Happy Valley, and still go up there to fish and camp pretty often. This is something I think about a lot, and the case still gets brought up at any family event. Feel so bad for his parents, Sue and Verrill. They're older now, and will probably never know what happened to their son. Another thing, police won't go up there if they're called now. They just won't unless they have adequate backup. It's ridiculous, and it seems in this area, this case isn't a concern anymore for anyone who didn't know him personally. Some sketchy people live right by his property too. Happy Valley isn't the place it used to be. More about the ATV also mentions the cabin. Matt said, "Once they found it there, I knew whatever happened was not an accident. The four-wheeler was found in high gear on a steep hill, and the ignition switch was left on, with the kill switch off. Matt said his dad would never leave his ATV on as it would drain the battery. They were sure he would have wrecked his four-wheeler if he had an accident, as they had feared. The brothers saw the ATV and knew right away that it was the one that belonged to their dad, but they had no idea why the four-wheeler would be where it was. They suspected straight away this was no accident." Matt Heron said, "Once they took me where the four-wheeler was found, I knew right away, I thought, yeah, there was foul play involved. Because it didn't make any sense where and how the four-wheeler was left. That he would have put it there, or that something happened that wasn't right. It's how the four-wheeler was there. It wasn't on his property. It was in between his property and the property that I had mentioned that he was mowing for hay for the missionaries, which was probably about 1.5 miles, maybe a mile up the road. It was kind of in between those properties. It was a 3-minute walk to the national park." As someone who has grown up in rural parts of Middle TN, I have heard a lot of wild stories about things that go down in the woods. There was an infamous area neighboring our county where people lived off-grid in a commune of sorts and did a lot of hard drugs. I have no idea if these stories are true, but these people were paranoid and territorial of their land. They would hang wire up between trees so that if anyone was riding ATVs on their land, they would unknowingly ride into said traps and die or become severely wounded. Probably just a tale to keep the bored high school kids away, But could something like this have possibly happened if he had crossed into an area that someone deemed to be theirs? Then just had his ATV dumped, because they're not going to hold on to evidence. My ex has also told me stories of going hunting and walking up on moonshine stills and immediately turning right the fuck around. Never know who or what you will find when you go wandering.